What's up, YouTube? Today I want to talk to Democrats from a Democrat and just a little post-mortem analysis on our defeat of the last election. Where to even begin? So, as far as Democrats go, I think we've done quite a horrible job at losing the culture over the last 4 years. And part of that, I want to say, is just our, complete and utter lack of politicians wanting to, engage with alternative media on the more Democratic side of the aisle, and how they'll always show up for CNN or MSNBC, but that's really it. Maybe beside, Pete Buttigieg, who's the other guy? Ro Khanna. He does a good job of getting out and about on the podcast circuit and whatnot. But I think it's vital for Democrats to help the more liberal alternative media figures and just pretty much showing other Democrats who they are and building up this system, because what Republicans do really well is they've built up this alternative media scene where the only real price to entry is rub the feet of Donald Trump, and anything besides that, as long as you're okay with Donald Trump, you're pretty much in the circle. And then when they have some kind of political situation where they have to set a narrative, they'll just run the circuit of alternative media where they won't be challenged. Like there's a reason you won't see Donald Trump on CNN, right? Because they're obviously going to ask him questions that he doesn't want to answer. So why do that when you could just run to alternative media, set the narrative yourself, and then on top of that have multiple other accounts from alternative media further exasperate the narrative, while Democrats sit there and just keep doing the same interviews at CNN. And it's obviously not working. The Republicans are better at setting narratives, and then what that leads to happen to Democrats is we have to work within the criticisms of Republicans at all times. I mean, any conversation I have with conservatives, I have to spend 20 minutes arguing about trans rights issues before we get to anything worth talking about. And they set that narrative. They're really good at that. And the Democrats just have to do a better job of engaging with these people. I'll name drop some people, with Brian Teller Cohen, David Pakman, who's the other one? Luke Beasley, he's all right. And there's a ton more that I would love to see the Democrats help with. And you got to understand that, after this campaign machine falls apart of Kamala, because the campaign's over, win or lose, that machine's falling apart. These content creators are day in and day out supporting Democrats and, speaking to whatever narrative they're putting forth. And another thing we need to do as a party is we need to start excising these socialists. We just have to. I don't see a point in engaging with a side of the party that the only thing they really want to do is critique the party. When it's time to back a candidate, where are they? They're nowhere to be found. And or if anything, they're just too busy bashing the Democratic Party to give them any support. Why do we engage with these people? Why would we allow them anywhere close to our politicians? It makes zero sense to give them any type of clout that they can build off of because they interacted with the Democratic Party. We really need to just cut them off like a tumor. And I don't have that many problems with socialists, honestly. Honestly, I've had a bunch of conversations with socialists, and there are some good ones. There's some ones I don't mind, and we can even agree on some policies, and that, and that's okay. You know what I mean? If I have to work with a socialist to advocate for more spending through Medicare to maybe expand it to children or something, I'm fine with that. I'm totally fine with that. If you want like preferential loans for like worker co-ops or something like that, like yeah, dude, we could work towards advocating for that. But when push comes to shove and it's time to like back a candidate, like you need to be there to back the candidate. You have to, or else like then why are we doing this, right? Like, and you got old cliche. I don't want to vote for the lesser of two evils. Well, it's a two-party system, stupid. Like, you get one or the other. I don't know what to tell you. I didn't create it. I'm just, it's not my world. So you have to play where you can. Another thing is, and this is more speaks to the base, is that if we have representatives in like purple districts, right, that are, they're campaigning, obviously these people aren't going to be Bernie Sanders. Like, they're in purple districts, they have different types of bases to go after, and they got different type of agendas they need to achieve to ensure that they get voted in, right? Like, in a purple district, there's probably going to be more of like a Joe Manchin or Kyrsten Sinema type of candidate, and the Democrats have already shown from a political standpoint that they can work with these people and pass bipartisan legislation. But the base seems to, anytime there's anybody like right of Marxism, they just go fucking full heels up trying to like destroy this person or call him a fascist or insert derogatory term towards political opponent, and that just needs to stop as well. We can't be purity testing ourselves like out of a political party, and I get it. The conservatives have zero fucking accountability. They are just completely lockstep, just all the same talking points, where like the left does critique themselves a lot. The left does hold people accountable a lot. Like, even the past 4 years, if we're going to talk about the DOJ or something like that, the Fed cases on Trump pretty much got walked at the speed of a 2-year-old toddler, where like, Hunter Biden was convicted. Who was it? Bob Mendez was convicted. Dude, there was another guy. I should have known this if I'm going to talk about it, but yeah, like, I think that, when Biden was seen that he had a horrible debate performance, it didn't take that long for the Democratic Party to hold him accountable and kick him out, Like, no, sir, you are not running for president. In retrospect, was that a mistake? Who knows? Who knows? You could probably argue Biden should have never held on that long, so Kamala had longer time to run, or you could argue maybe he should have stayed in, but, insert pet peeve political issue here, and we'll be mad about that. And she was too left, she was too middle, I don't know. But I know as a party, the politicians, they need to engage with alternative media more. They just need to. Or they might as well just hang it up, call it a day. The base needs to be more open towards like middle of the road candidates, especially like when we're talking about regions. Obviously, a Democrat in Georgia in some deep purple district is going to be different than a Democrat in Los Angeles. Like, the Democrat in Los Angeles can just get away with more in terms of like positions that they're trying to push. And obviously, like, they probably do just have different agendas altogether. But it's those couple things that we agree on that we really need to like hammer down and we can make happen. And, hopefully help working class people. And that's really like, we can't allow ourselves to always be operating within the criticism of schizophrenic MAGA. Like, we just can't. It's just not a sustainable place to thrive. Like, it's a horrible ecosystem to try and do anything. We can't allow them to set the narratives. We need just more tools to push back, because CNN and MSNBC are just not doing it. Why, like, your boy Dave Pakman's over there fucking storming Normandy by himself. Like, Lord, someone pray for David. And yeah, And that's essentially all I really wanted to talk about today. You know, with the next election, it's going to be primary. It's going to be a crazy one. So we'll see where that goes. We got 4 more years. Let's get through this candidacy first. Thanks for listening. You know, like, comment, subscribe. Love y'all. Have a good day.